we go. It's Monday, October 17th, 2023. That's the Winter Garden across the street. They used to have cats a long time ago. Longest running show for a while. Now it's Back to the Future. Just like Canal Street, you have all these handbags being sold. It used to only be Canal Street area, now it's made it to Midtown. Okay, this is muted again. Oh well. Blah 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 blah. They always keep playing this song. It's the only song they play. It's crazy. Oh well.
Yeah, you didn't listen to that to me.
Looks like that car just got dumped here because it got smashed in. If you're just joining, we're right by Times Square. More handbags. It's just like Canal Street. Yesterday I also did this kind of walk, similar, start around the same place. This time I used the restroom, so maybe I'll make it further. Maybe I'll make it home. It's a long walk, but turn off before I get home. That's Sbarro. They've been closed for a long time, even before the pandemic, I think. You have all these scooters. There's e-bikes everywhere. There, they even hide the price. You can't see it. Red background with black font. Impossible to see. Yep. Crosswalk, oh well. Great driving skills. And here we approach. Was supposed to be the world's largest Krispy Kreme. They were supposed to have a second floor before the pandemic, but they built it during the pandemic and they gave up on the second floor. So I don't know about world's largest Krispy Kreme. Hey Roxanne, what's up? We're by Times Square, just north of it. This is where we are. Nothing, I'm just walking home. I had a late open house. Thankfully 2 people showed up, but so far nothing came of it. The worst is having an open house and nobody show up. The reason why it was so late is it's occupied and I gotta go by the tenant's rules. So that's why I had to show that late, which is a bit ridiculous, but I have to at least show that I'm trying. Because if I'm not trying, then the tenant will try and find somebody. And I don't want that because then I don't get a commission. Here we go. This will be muted later. Oh well. Enjoy it while it's here. Earlier, right over here, this is where they sell tickets, discounted tickets, same day usually, or next day. It's discounted, but there's stairs on the other side of it. People like to view of Times Square right over here. But it was raining earlier, so they closed it, but now it stopped and dried, so they opened it. This guy here, he has the he's the official photographer, so he has a whole stand. He pays rent, but he gets the best shots because they even have they'll close it off for him sometimes, so he can have the steps if needed. And then also he has a viewing platform over there where they also have concerts. I posted a concert. And it got like 24,000 views, something like that. Manskin. Now, I wasn't even on the list, and there was people waiting for somebody to perform. We didn't know who it was, and all of a sudden they started performing. It was like, cool. But when there's not a concert now, they have this photography guy. Yeah, there's lots of music. I'm gonna have to censor it. It's hard to look at the comments because I'm also walking. But try and look. It's a zoo. During the pandemic, this place was a ghost town. Now everyone's back full swing. Seems like it just gets more crowded and more crowded. Here they have people that are trying to get your money by performing jumping over a bunch of people, but it takes like 45 minutes for them to actually jump over them. Because they're just trying to get donations. But I don't want to. Okay, now you have Elmo and the Cops. That sounds like a bad movie. Elmo and the Cops. There's a bazillion different hustles happening here. You got the Elmos, the Minnie Mouses, the Gorillas. You have people selling comedy tickets. You have this guy mooning traffic across the street. You have tourism. Hey, Nightbot, thank you. So, before the pandemic, there was only like McDonald's, and that was about it in Times Square. Now there's Popeyes next to it. Right north of it, there was Krispy Kreme. Oh, there used to be Starbucks. It's still there. But next to Starbucks is Jollibee. Let's see what else food. Raising Cane's. These guys are new. Like 2 months. That's like their largest location. Used to be both floors of Bubba Gump. Now they're mainly on the second floor. Hard Rock's been there for a while. A long while. There's another comedy club guy. Taco Bell, that's within the last year or so. So there's a lot more food here. Also, there's a street vendor selling food. There's some sort of political or religious message. I don't know. I'll keep walking. He's selling fruit. There's another guy selling churros in back of us. There's the hot dog people. There's the American flag, of course. That's like the smallest police station. It has like a one jail cell holding area.
Remember, the address.
Turo, that's a university. My sister went there, but for graduate school, but not that location. That location is new. Must cost a pretty penny to have a campus right on Times Square. Right there. Turo. So also what was crazy is during the pandemic, you have all these ads that a lot of them were empty spaces, and you're like, that's funny. Seeing empty ads because no one was going to Times Square. That was like the Twilight Zone. Yeah, now there's a lot of food options. It used to never be like this. But the food options, for the most part, except for like a few diners along the side, most of it's fast food. Very few restaurants. And right in Times Square, the restaurants are not the quality restaurants. They're more of the tourist restaurants you see everywhere. You gotta go a few blocks away to get to some more unique dining options. Hello, I'm a music lover. They got 3 different fruit stands. They also sell popcorn, water. Hello, Gala. We just finished walking through Times Square. We're at 42nd Street now. Oh, this is unique. Never seen that before. It's like a chair that moves. Waving hands. Yep, there we go. This will be muted later. They probably charge an arm and a leg for that. You know, that video is unique, but so many of them are doing that. You also can go to Brooklyn Bridge, as I featured. This guy is selling paintings he handmade, but I've seen that other places. It smells terrible though. Jake Peter waving. Speaking of Peter, Joe's Pizza. Peter Parker. Road closed. Oh, this is freshly painted. That's why. They painted the lines. Actually, it was more so the sidewalk over there. They put new pebbles down. We're walking by Joe's Pizza. As I said before, it was featured in Spider-Man, but this location is too crowded. You're better off going to East Village. West Village also gets a crowd, but not like this. See, the line goes out the door, and it goes all the way down here. You would think they were giving out the pizza, right? If I told you go to East Village, 14th Street, there's no line. And it goes around the block. Yeah, they should just go to 14th Street. I remember 2 years ago, I went to LA, and there was a Joe's Pizza in LA, and it was dead except there was this woman with her 2 kids. I was with my mom. Obviously, I'm not a kid anymore. And we were like, "How's the pizza?" and the woman said, "The location is the pizza is not that good. New York locations are better." And we said we're from New York, actually. And the thing with the pizza, Joe's Pizza, you can't order it to go or delivered. You really have to get it there, because I've had it delivered. At work we used to get it, and somehow in transit, even though it was still hot, it didn't taste as good as right out of the oven. I guess when they put it in the box, somehow it just doesn't. And then also the thing with Joe's is you go all the way to New York, you spend, I don't know, is it like $4 a slice now, I think, or $3.50. It's not a coal oven. It's one of those Baker Pride ovens. So it's really good, except not the best. Not the best. Close, but not. Might as well just go to like John's of Bleecker that has a coal oven. Go somewhere that has a coal oven. I was told the best pizza was New Haven. But yet to try it. That's a Revel. That blue Tesla. Request a ride. It's like Uber, but they're all mostly Teslas. Not all of them. They're all like electric vehicles. And the drivers are actual employees, not independent contractors. So I guess the vehicle has to go back to their lot, and I guess they charge it and inspect it or whatever. Hey, turquoise! I'm walking home again. Hopefully this time I'm not gonna have to stop at Whole Foods. I tried right before. Dr. Wonders, hello. Zonaz, hello. This Dunkin' Donuts here is just a takeout window, nowhere to sit. Genius. Tiny little shop. Enough for like 2 people to work there, and that's it. They do pretty well there, I think. Unless the rent is too high. Two slices and a soda, $8.99 plus tax. That's how you know you're in New York. Encore Pizza. Never had them. I've had them years ago when it was owned by a different company. It used to be kosher, but no longer anymore. They sell pepperoni there. Different owners, different management, different ingredients. Nothing wrong with pepperoni though. Another Panera opening up here. They close some locations and then opening others. Shake Shack. These guys are phenomenal. They started actually in Madison Square Park, the park I walked by last time, which I probably will walk again by. Maybe switch it up a bit. Game Republic Road. Oak Bar. They're connected to Urban Outfitters. So if you're at Urban Outfitters, you want to Oak Bar, have an entrance inside of you. Unlock a music experience with every drink. Coca-Cola, that's new. All access pass, QR code. Not sure what that's about. I remember years ago they had they were even had a feature of the night in a way. Remember back when I was in grade school, Coca-Cola had a promo to get a beeper service. I ended up never getting the beeper, but whatever. I guess it's something you scan the QR code and I guess they give you a few songs or something. I'm not sure how that works. Coca-Cola has some weird partnerships sometimes. Like the beeper thing, if you don't know, you don't go. That's what it was called. You had to have so many Coca-Cola, I don't know what it was, like proof of purchase somehow. It was bottle caps, I think. You know, bottle cap codes. And you had to enter them in from some website. Then they'd give you a beeper, but then you'd have to pay for the service, so I don't know. But now who has beepers? Shows you how old I am. I had that smart beep $1.99. It cost more than $2 a month. So you had to buy the device. You only had the device for a year or two, and then everyone got rid of beepers. And then the whole company, when everyone got rid of it, I guess, folded. Yeah, only medical professionals have it now. I think for a while lawyers might had it because for a while you weren't allowed to have a camera phone in the courthouse. But that all changed. Now everyone has a camera phone in the courthouse. They don't care anymore. I remember they used to sell Blackberries with camera and without. I used to sell those at J&R electronics store. They still have beepers? Do they? I know they have walkie-talkies. Over here, this used to be Manhattan Mall. And Aeropostale, however you pronounce it. I'm probably not pronouncing it right. They used to be somewhere in the mall. Like in the back, I think on the first floor. But now they put it all the way in the front because there is no mall anymore. It used to be right in there. For the longest time when I was a child, the food court was all the way on the top floor. Then they put it all the way in the basement. Then they gave up. Doctors and hospitals still have it. Okay, something new. I didn't know. Learn something new every day. That's what I meant to say. Learn something new every day. TD Bank. They say they're America's most convenient bank because they used to be open 7 days a week. And they used to be open late. Now it's like every other bank. So I say America's most inconvenient bank. They want your money. It's all green, lit up in green. Incense. Look at all this incense burning. That's wild. Samples. Oh my god, it also smells of eggs over here. You can't make this up. Burning incense like crazy, trying to... Someone had a stink bomb over there. That's wild. Gregory's Coffee, they have good coffee. Green building. How is it green? Because it smells of rotten eggs? Could be. 7-Eleven. It's lit up like you wouldn't believe. And that's the typical. Every 7-Eleven in New York City has an unofficial doorman. They can't get rid of them. The unofficial doorman. They don't even want them, but they're always there. It's like, goes without saying. It's amazing how that works. Empty storefront right in the corner. Oh, it's an empty block. Who wants to have a storefront on an empty block? There's no street lights on this side either. Desolate. Right next to a construction site. Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't make sense. Get rid of what? The guy was trying to get rid of the doorman in front of his business. It was a 7-Eleven. And New York City, every 7-Eleven there's a homeless guy who sits begging for money. So they're like the unofficial doorman that they can't get rid of. Yeah, it was lit up like a Christmas tree, all in white. Christmas lights. Kind of like the CBD store, or Bound store, or whatever. Okay. Turquoise, good seeing you. This is a hotel across the street. That's another hotel. That's the Paul Hotel. And this one over here looks like some branded chain. I can't see the name of it. This is the back of, over here it's the back, I think, of Virgin Hotel, opened a year ago. This is a crazy golf club, it says. That's pretty wild. Swingers Crazy Golf Club. I think that's, yeah. I think that's connected to the back of Virgin Hotel. And that's Ace Hotel. And here we are, Broadway, Swingers, the Crazy Golf Club. Guess it's pretty crazy to name it Swingers. Now we're back on Broadway. This part of Broadway used to have a lot of wholesale stores where you needed to have a business license to shop there. And I never had a business license in that sense. I have a real estate license, so that doesn't really count for wholesaling. You needed a tax ID number, which I'm a sole proprietor. So they had all sorts of stuff, basically if you bought in bulk. And I could never shop in this area. Now it's almost all the wholesalers are gone except a few on the side street, a few on Broadway. Now it's mostly hotels, restaurants, and fast food. And smoke shops. Still need to add more lights because it gets pretty dark. Glass slab. It's like some sort of salon. Pizzeria. Old days. Joe and the Juice. Most of these places are only up in the door. Top drawer. That looks pretty cool. The clothes. Functional products for work and travel. They're towards nomads, which is kind of cool. I gotta check that store out during the day. They have one in Soho as well. Liquor infused ice cream bar. That's awesome. Ice cream liquor bar. Sign me up. I have no idea. I've yet to try the liquor bar. I've yet to try the pizza. Joe and the Juice has coffee and sandwiches. The coffee was good. I haven't tried the sandwiches. It's a chain. This place here, Mexican Grill, looks interesting. I've yet to try it. You know, I don't eat out all that much because I really can't afford it. You know, YouTube actually started giving me a food budget. I try it. Forward. The future of your health. Nomad girl. Nomad as in north of Madison Avenue, not the nomad as in Travis. Fellow Barber's Barbershop. Plant Burger. I've never tried them. It's a plant burger is plant-based, so it's veggie. It's not real. I was gonna try if it was free, but when they opened a different location, they said that they were gonna give out X amount of burgers, and I was in line, and it sounded like I'd get one, but then they gave all the free burgers to like their friends, not the people waiting in line. So I gave up on plant burger. I'm not gonna pay money to try it. You know, if it was free on that opening day like it was supposed to, and if I liked it, then I'd go back and pay for it. But Zoli Books. He's a private bookseller.
Oh, they tell me like I sound just like.
Naya, this is a chain. I've had them different locations before. They're Middle Eastern. It's pretty good. The only thing with Naya is it had a weird aftertaste though. So it's not somewhere I'd rush to. But then the same, it's kind of like Kava, but I think Kava has a larger portion size. And Kava also has a weird aftertaste. 40 Club. That was 40 Club. Wasn't that Jay-Z who owned it? Citibank. They're all over the place. That's Madison Square Park. We were across the street last night. I showed it. And ahead of us is the Flatiron Building, which you can't really see because it's hidden behind another building. The triangular building that's flat. It's an ice cream truck without the music, thank God. I don't know if that music would count as a copyright strike if they played it. Well, not a strike, as a more like they claim it, copyright claim. Now this nice canopy decoration is because they have scaffolding and they're trying to cover it because that's what it looks like without covering it. And that was an entrance to Italy. Italy is a chain of a few different expensive restaurants and grocery items. It's like being in a food court. It's kind of weird. And surrounded by expensive Italian food for sale. So it's kind of a weird, why would you pay an arm and a leg to be sitting in a food court? I mean, in a, yeah, it's like a food court next to the groceries. Expensive groceries. I don't know. So that's the Flatiron Building. All covered in scaffolding on the side. Lululemon. That's the exercise clothing. Yoga clothing. Lululemon's a bit weird how it's like they make fashionable yoga clothing. So is yoga really a healthy exercise, or is it a fashion statement? To me, their clothing is more of a fashion statement, not really much for yoga. S&P, this is an old diner, it used to be called Eisenberg's, and now it's called S&P. They kept the sign while it's under scaffolding. Eisenberg's sandwich that they called S&P. Right there, put S&P. When it was Eisenberg's, I tried it, and food wasn't that good, but the atmosphere was amazing. And they got behind in the rent, and the landlord wanted the next tenant to keep it as a diner, old school diner, and keep that whole feel as much as possible. Luckily, the landlord was able to find someone to do just that. But for logistics, they had to change the name, I think.
There's no beating around the bush. That's why you should come to jiu-jitsu, because it's kind of.
So I've yet to try S&P, but I tried under Eisenberg, and it wasn't good. We're on Fifth Avenue. I think I'm going to switch back to Broadway. I remember they used to advertise on YouTube all the time. There is a bot. Yes, there is. The bot is well trained. And it doesn't like spam, apparently. Look at this cool old door. Freight entrance. I don't know, you can't see it in the camera too well. Let me see if it will. No, it doesn't really. Can't really show it in film too well, but it's an old style door. There we go. I just thought it was cool. It's hard to show sometimes through camera. Charles Schwab, this is a branch of theirs. It's not really a branch where like you go to give them money, like cash, more so investment. And I guess you can give them a check. I don't think they'll take cash. It's not like the regular bank of a retail bank. Well, no, it's not Zonaz, it's a bot, it's Nightbot. Z. Sorry if I'm putting you to sleep. I should cross the street because I was on this side of the street last night. Design within reach.
Seems structurally unsound.
Cool furniture store. It's almost like a living room. And here's a bike rally. Food app bike rally. Crossing against the light. That's the thing in New York. You can cross against the light and not get a ticket for jaywalking. Where other places like Vegas, I hear they'll give you a ticket. Well, I'm almost where they have a public bathroom, but since I already did that, I think I'll go another 15-20 minutes once I get to around Houston Street. If anyone knows where Houston Street, it's spelled like Houston, but it's pronounced Houston Street. That's when I'll turn off the live stream. Here's AMC. What's cool about this AMC is they got a liquor bar over in the back, right over there. Movie theater. They had that before the pandemic, but the Regal a few blocks that way, which is bigger and better seating.
So on and so forth.
They built the bar during the pandemic. You're welcome. This is ABC Carpet and Home. They have a really nice display. Nice, like Macy's quality. I remember when I worked at J&R, they had somebody at J&R who did their displays as well. ABC Carpet and Home, floral arrangements. Hello, New York City looks nice tonight. Thank you, Robert. So that's ABC Carpet and Home. While ago, years ago, I went once or twice to ABC Carpet and Home. Not for carpet, not for home, but they had bakery in the back. I think I'm not sure if they had food. They definitely had hot chocolate in the winter. They probably had baked items. Wilson. Mattress Firm. Now this used to be a Sleepy's, I believe. Mattress Firm bought out Sleepy's, and they rebranded Sleepy's Mattress Firm. And before that, there were no mattress firms. It was just known as Sleepy's. And here's a lamppost of kidnapped Israelis. Entire family kidnapped. 85-year-old grandmother kidnapped. 44-year-old kidnapped. Israeli children kidnapped, and then the others we saw. So sad. We are in well, we were in Flatiron. First we were in Times Square area. Then we kept going south by Herald Square. Then we were in Nomad. Then we were in Flatiron, and now we're by Union Square Park. So we just left Flatiron, and now we're by Union Square Park.
I get kind of
I don't know what neighborhood you call that, but see, here we have more signs. 6-month-old Israeli baby kidnapped. We saw that one. Another entire Israeli family. Couple. 8-year-old woman. Another couple. We saw that couple. Entire Israel family. Entire Israeli family. We saw that one already. So they're putting them up everywhere now. Starting to turn into like 9/11. Another one. 19-year-old, we didn't see that one. We saw that one already. Five-year-old Israeli mother. Babies and children. We saw that other two on the other side. Yeah, it's not good. There was news that Hamas said they were gonna free non-Israeli, people of other from other nations, from other countries, but it was really vague. They said when conditions permit. So it's like, sounds like they're in no real hurry, but it sounds like they really made a mistake and they only wanted to go after Israelis. But they took anybody. And then it's like, oops. But oops doesn't really cut it. This is Union Square Park, which I really want to walk through just after dark. I don't know, I guess it's open, because it's not that late. Yeah, it's open, but it's just, why would you walk through? Weather should tell you the weather. I think you have to put like the area. Like if you put like, I think a name or a zip code, that might make it work. Okay, this will be muted later, obviously, because there's music playing. But for now, I'll just let it play. Back at it. Nightbot, wake up. I don't know, maybe the abbreviation isn't gonna do it. Thanks. Yes, thank you. So this is what that had to get replaced after, just as it was getting fixed, it got ruined with the free PlayStation giveaway that gone wrong. This is the park. Union Square Park. And that's the W Union Square Hotel in the background that's lit up. That's the Whole Foods that has public restrooms. You don't need a key or password, but it's not that clean. That's the climate clock over there, which you can't really see because it's kind of blurred. Yeah, exactly. It was a few months ago. It took them like 6 months to fix that entrance, and it was still under scaffolding. And then that happened. And they said, oh, we can fix it in 2 weeks. So talk about like a contract cover-up. I think it was going to be a lot nicer. I think it was glass before, like bulletproof glass or something. But then they said, you know what, let's just make it industrial plastic. Yeah, it was closed for a long time, and then they fixed it in 2 weeks. So, I don't know. They got spooky stuff over there. Chocolate by the old man, cocktails, milkshakes.
I'm like, please, get out of here.
So here, they have Regal, and they were gonna close right after the pandemic. They announced that they were gonna close, but then they somehow renegotiated their lease, and they're still open. And they renovated while the pandemic happened, and there's a bar upstairs, whereas the AMC had a small mini bar before the pandemic. Luxury Style Talk, hello, thank you for coming. They also have dollar coffee here, dollar plus tax, during the daytime. And you could combine those points onto your Regal account, but I've been too lazy to do it, you know?
I just think she needs some structure to like.
So this is a Zoomies store, clothing store. It used to be a Forbidden Planet. Forbidden Planet is a comic book type of store that is over here. Right here, comic books and more. R2-D2. He kind of looks like the new MTA robot they have in Times Square. That's where they got the design probably from. That costs what, $9 an hour? But then it has to be patrolled by 2 different cops. So explain that one. And it doesn't go on the track platform level where it's needed. So this Forbidden Planet used to be on the corner where Zoomies is, and then before Zoomies, it was over where the coffee shop Pratt is. And before that, I was too young, or didn't exist. So I don't know if it started on this corner or not. If yet you happen to know, you can always comment.
Yeah.
And this is Strand Bookstore, another bookstore. We passed by 2 independent bookstores. They claim that their collection is so large that it is 18 miles of books bought and sold. You know, I guess if you counted if you put them all in a row, it'd be 18 miles long. If you believe that. Somehow, I don't believe it, and I think if you believe that, you'll probably believe that I have a book collection that's 10 miles long. I don't even have a book collection that's 1 mile long. So I guess you can call this neighborhood Greenwich Village. It's like basically this side and that way. And then if you go this way, it's East Village. This is Halloween Adventure. I get a lot of steps in. This store does really well during the Halloween season, especially the last week of October. Right now they're not too busy. It's the last week that they get really busy. And this is the church. There's a couple that exited the Halloween Adventure. One looks dressed a little in goth. Maybe that was just the back and you saw the fishnet leggings. I don't know. He could have looked like she was dressed in goth. Just my guess. Yeah, this church has a. Speaking of goth, has a gothic type of architecture. Yeah, they should just put Halloween Adventure somehow in one of the side parts of this church. But no, it's actually a functioning church and school, so they're not going to do that. Where this Hot Works is, that used to be the Wells Fargo, which moved across the street. They also did the same thing. They used to have a Wells Fargo in Soho on one side of the street, and they moved to across the street. So they're notorious for that. This used to be a Chase Bank. No. Yeah, this was a Chase Bank for a long time. Then I guess they lost their lease and moved out. That used to be an HSBC bank. They haven't been there a long time, and now there's so few HSBC banks now in New York because Citizens bought them out, and there's only a few HSBC branches left. I think they're only in Midtown now, and there's like one or two. Like the headquarters, right next to their headquarters, there's a branch, like same building. See where that Staples was, and the building next to it, that's, well, not same building, but next to the Staples there used to be Dwayne Reed Walgreens, and they were used to be combined with a basement, and that was when I was a child, that was Woolworths. That closed a long time ago. I must have been like 8 years old when they closed. Yeah, maybe 13. There's a Bank of America. When I was a kid, there was a bank here called Chemical Bank. They also sponsored my elementary school. They had a program for a running club. I forget what it was called, but we ran track like once a year, and there was a t-shirt and it had all sorts of brands on it, and Chemical Bank was the main sponsor. The track that I'm talking about is long gone. It was on the East River. but they are renovating the whole East River and they got rid of it. Another blank store. This used to be all one store. They separated it into two. And nothing came of it. Actually, I think it might have actually took out the whole block on Broadway as one. I can't remember. This is the vitamin shop, which is long gone. Before the vitamin shop, it was Astor Place, which used to be 3 stories. Now it's only in the basement. Haircut place. All the celebrities would go there. Now nobody goes there. Yeah, that's the problem. This place, I don't know how they do it. They're usually not that busy.
Hey, you forgot now it's donut
I don't know how Donut Pub does it either. They're usually not that busy either. And that's... you wonder. Warehouse Wines and Spirits. They actually sold, and now it's owned by a delivery company called GoPuff. I don't know how it's working out. Somehow I don't think it'll stay that much longer. They bought it mainly so they had a distribution to deliver alcohol, I guess. That specific location. There's still vitamin shop, just not that specific location. This is the NYU bookstore. As it says, Amalgamated Life Insurance Company. I have no idea if they're there, but it's an NYU building. And it's the College of Arts and Science. And you can't really see it from here, but there's also the credit union is in the back of that building. Amalgamated. It's a hidden credit union. You can join it if you're part of the NYU community as either a student, faculty, or alumni. I looked at... that's nice. Somebody left that food for somebody. That was nice. Like a lot of homeless hanging out at McDonald's, like right in front of it, kind of like 7-Eleven. So somebody left food for them. But what was I saying? NYU Credit Union, their rates are not really that competitive. It's like going to a regular commercial bank like Citibank or Chase. So there's no reason I'm joining that credit union. Unless they change their rates to be competitive. I am on low battery mode, so I don't know if I'll make it all the way to Houston. Yeah, it's credit union, but the rates, you know, if it's not competitive, why would you want to bank at a credit union? Their app isn't as good, and the rates are just as bad as a commercial bank. You're better off with a large bank unless you have competitive rates. That McDonald's that I passed recently was closed for over a month. I don't know if it was a health issue or if they had a fire, and usually they're not forthcoming. The Wendy's nearby, a few years ago, they closed for over a month as well. And when they reopened, the place smelled terrible of like puke, so they had some sort of health problem. That was a while ago though, so I think they fixed it by now. That's a cool store across the street, Evolution. They sell like evolutionary stuff, like skeletons, fossils. Their lights are out in their display, so you can't really see anything. Okay. I don't know if we'll make it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'll see if I'll make it. If not, the phone will die. I also got to charge the gimbal. I was surprised the gimbal held up. This used to be a GNC. They lost their lease during the pandemic. This is Gorillas or Getter. I'm not sure which one. It used to be an OMG, oh my god, jeans. They lost their lease during the pandemic as well. I'm almost home anyway, so I don't really need to conserve the battery. I just don't like to show the exact location of where I live, for obvious reasons. Oops. Yankee Kick Store. Yankee Kicks 2023 coming soon. And there's a Yankee Kicks app. Ah, interesting. They'll do really well because they're right next to a hat club, sneaker store over there. They'll do well. Sphere Therapy, Physical Therapy, right next to City MD. There's the Wendy's that was closed a while. This is Bleecker Street Bar. They used to be on Bleecker. They lost their lease. They got a nice long bar. This used to be a deli years ago, and then there was a blackout, and then the deli never recovered, so they had to throw out all their food. And this is Bleecker. The Bleecker Street Bar used to be like a block that way. Nice fancy watch store. Thank you, Nightbot. This type of scaffolding is from a company called Urban Umbrella, because it looks a little bit nicer. They light it up. All the pillars, they have them over there too. All the pillars are white instead of like some dark color. That's Urban Outfitters.
What's you? I don't know.
This used to be a Journeys. That's the type of store you see in malls all over the country. This is the local Best Buy, but they're closing October 28th. See? See you around. Closing October 28th. And I think that Crate and Barrel might close. I was told it might close. Someone told me it's closing because of the other one opening up just north of, which we passed earlier, just north of Union Square Park, around 20th Street, I think, or 19th Street. That would be a shame because this is so much closer to me. And yeah, and the Best Buy, the nearest Best Buy is at Union Square as well, which granted gets a lot more foot traffic, so I can see why. that was an HSBC and now it's a Citizens. So it looks like they're relaunching as Citizens over there. It's been closed for a while. And this is in one of the Adidas stores. There's the old school Adidas store. I guess it's still around in Soho. I don't know, but this is the newer style Adidas. Anyway, we're at Broadway and Houston, where East meets West. And the newest store in this area, which isn't closing so soon that I know of, because they just opened about a year ago, is Target. But they don't really sell any clothing there. I think they just started selling I Love New York t-shirts as the only clothing, which I've talked about before, not having clothing. But I think they added. They have cosmetics, they have food in the basement, they also have a few electronics. But yeah, and they're hiring, but only part-time. They don't want to pay benefits like any other company. And there we go. And there's all the garbage it produces. Yeah, they did buy HSBC, but there's like 1 or 2 locations left, like by their corporate headquarters in Midtown. Anyway, on that note, bye everyone, and I'll see you in the next broadcast or video. And don't forget to watch the replay. Oh wait, there's a comment. The U.S. divisions have been bought and sold several times. During 2008, they sold to Capital One. Then a few years back, they relaunched and sold it to Citizens. HSBC was always had a Midtown main office, and it always was an HSBC. Just they kept shrinking, and they still have an HSBC in Midtown. Still have corporate headquarters. Anyway, bye everyone.